Welcome to the Kearsarge Chronicle. Last show we talked to Susan Cowan Morse about working with ADHD students, and she has some wonderful tips for parents of ADHD children to help motivate them. So why don't you tell about a few of them?
Okay, great, thanks. First I want to talk about this calendar that is really neat in the sense that the first 2 weeks will fold over and tear off so that you can always have 4 weeks at a time in view.
Good idea.
Yeah. So I work with my students and parents to learn to keep track of their life by looking at a month at a time versus a day at a time. And we usually use colorful pens so that it's easy to see and the items jump out. So the ADHD learner often, as we mentioned in the last show, has a difficulty with the concept of the passing of time. So I like them to learn to keep track of the month rather than just the day. The school agenda usually just asks them to write down what's happening in a day, the homework for the day. Right. But as soon as they flip the page in that agenda, that day doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. Yeah. So we start using a calendar to keep track of time, and I find that my students really enjoy a new concept, a new way to manage time.
And helping them plan their week.
Yes.
And I think that's a marvelous idea.
Take more control of it themselves. So another strategy that I'd like to mention, that's one that parents could use immediately after listening, is lots of parents struggle with getting their kids out the door in the morning.
Yes.
And you know, getting dressed, and you know, everybody's trying to get out the door.
Right. Getting the backpack filled with the right books.
Things, just getting the clothes on. So the ADHD child responds really well to a good challenge and to something that's really motivating. So one suggestion that I have is that the parent sets a timer in the morning for, say, to give them, say, 1 or 2 minutes. So when the timer goes off, you need to have your shirt on. And then tell the child that if they can get their shirt on and get over to the timer and turn it off, then they can have the amount of time that's left on the timer in dimes or quarters or something.
That's a great idea. Yes. Or TV shows to watch.
Or TV shows, or minutes to have your light on at night before bed to read. But somehow you find what it is that will be motivating to that child to earn. And the timer, just all of a sudden the adrenaline gets going and the blood starts pumping and they're getting their shirt on as fast as they can because they want to win that challenge.
I think that's great. And you know, not just for ADHD kids.
No, not at all.
I mean, I don't know many mothers who don't have trouble getting the kids ready to get off to school in the morning.
Right.
So I think that's a really good, something you can use right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you got any more of those?
Oh, well, I have lots of strategies, and anyone is welcome to call me and find out more
about how it works. Talking about ADHD children, you were a teacher. Do the teachers cooperate with you as far as working with an ADHD student in the room?
They do.
Do they?
They do. And most of the teachers that I work with in the Kearsarge district are my former colleagues.
True.
So I have a very good rapport with them. And when I have worked in a few other local districts, at first they may be a little, hesitant to not understand who I am and what I'm doing. But right away I let them know, hey, I've been in your shoes. I've been the classroom teacher. I know how difficult it is, and I'm here to help. So, and soon they are very appreciative.
They're right on board with you.
Definitely.
And I'm thinking sometimes it's hard for grandparents to accept the concept of an ADHD child. Do you ever run into anything like that?
I do. I definitely, and parents as well. And because this is only something that we've been talking about for the past 10 to 15 years. Even when I was in school in the early 80s, we didn't have this
no, they were just slow learners
or hyper kids.
Right.
So It's difficult for everybody, I think, to grasp this and understand, and to also appreciate that these are really incredible children.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that you may need an extra stretch of patience.
Right, exactly. But they're very talented. They have their talents in different places than the places that the classroom is always asking for.
Well, Susan, I think you've just given us a wonderful overview of the ADHD student and some wonderful tips on how to deal with him at home. So once again, we are so appreciative that you've come to the Chronicle, and thank you very much.
Thank you.